But when they made the discovery that all those astronauts had read the Martian Chronicles. when they're all young men, they read my books and decided they wanted to become astronauts.
Now, something that's a little controversial here is that the story, The Silent Towns, you said that was very similar to the pilot in the Twilight Zone. Can you talk about that a little bit? The Mars story from the Martian Chronicles that you said was similar to the Twilight Zone episode. What are your thoughts on all of that?
No, Rod Serling came to my house many years ago. He didn't know anything about writing science fiction and fantasy. So I took him down my basement and I gave him copies of the books of Richard Matheson. I had took him copies of the books by Henry Gardner. I gave him copies of the books written by Roald Dahl and by John Collier, and a couple of books by myself. And Rod Serling forgot that he'd read all these books, and when he wrote his program, he copied some of the ideas from me without telling me. So we got into a big argument, a lot of trouble together. And finally, I walked away from the Rod Serling show. I liked him very much. He had a great show. But unfortunately, he forgot the basis of the show was all the books that I gave by all of my friends. Down here in San Diego, and I think there was only 300 people came to that meeting. So it was quite different from today.
Why have you been coming so often to this convention? Why is this such an important destination?
Because I've been collecting comic strips all my life. I have all of Prince Valiant put away. 30 years of Prince Valiant Sunday illustrations put away. I have all of Buck Rogers put away too. I put away those starting when I was 19 years old. So my background in becoming a writer was falling in love with comic strips.
How did comic strips influence your prose writing? Did it affect it in any way, the narrative panels?
No, it was full of imagination. It was full of glorious adventures. So it taught me how to write. When I was only 9 years old, you see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I read the comic strips and I learned how to write.
Do you still read comic strips? Do you still read the funny pages or comic books?
Oh, yes.
Today, which ones do you like?
My favorite is in the paper every day. It's called Mutts.
Now, of course, you have been really the patron saint of the American public library system. I don't know whether a lot of you have heard, but this man, as Arnold Kunert so aptly said, at the young age of 90, has been very active in rescuing libraries that are under fire because of the budgetary crisis and the economic crisis in this country. You love public libraries. Tell us the story of your love affair with libraries.
When I left high school, I had all my plans to go to college, but I had no money. And I decided then the best thing for me to do is not worry about getting money to go to college. I would educate myself. I would walk down the street, I would walk into a library, I would go to the library 3 days a week for 10 years and I would educate myself. It's all free. That's the great thing about libraries. Most of you cannot afford to go to college. But if you want to educate yourself completely, go to the library and educate yourself. When I was 28 years old, I graduated from the library. Mel Gibson on TV during the last week. So right now, he's not doing a thing. No, because I designed a lot of other places all over LA, and 50 years ago, the people who were building the New York World's Fair called me in and asked me to be the architect to redesign the United States Pavilion. And it was a great success. And then I helped build Epcot down in Florida and other great places all around the United States. And then the people of San Diego came and asked me to have my input in building the center.
Gordon Plaza.
And the center of San Diego. That's how I got the job.
Well, thank you for keeping us lost.
It's called from an essay in his wonderful collection. How many of you have Zen in the Art of Writing? What an amazing book. And it's called The Aesthetics of Lostness. And it's, yep, or it's in Yes Tomorrow. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's a great collection of essays, Yes Tomorrow. And John Giardi read that essay and started working with Ray because of it.